Yeah, Adam. I'm back up to 91 kick.
Connor, you're a belter, lad. Hey, I've got new teeth as well, look.
Imagine opening your phone and seeing Conor McGregor drop screenshots of his private messages with Dana White, the boss of the UFC. In the same breath, rumors explode that Israel Adesanya's big rematch with Sean Strickland is dead in the water, and loudmouth rivals Ilia Topuria and Paddy Pimblett trade brand new insults before bedtime. It feels like 10 breaking stories smashed into one, and they all hit on the very same day. Stay right here, because in the next few minutes, we'll walk through every twist, every jab, and every surprise hidden inside this avalanche of MMA news together today. Silva's mouth has been moving almost as fast as his fists lately, and the target is Diego Lopez. Both men are locked to meet on September 13th during Noche UFC, a card built to honor Mexican Independence Day. Instead of swapping flags, Silva started swapping insults. He told reporters that Diego has never once looked him in the eye, not at weigh-ins, not in the hotel lobby, not even in accidental hallway run-ins. Silva claims that kind of sideways stare is a sign of doubt, and he plans to rip it wide open under the bright lights.
If they tell me I have to be in a fight, I'll get ready and I'll be out there. There's the revenge that I think I should get, and I want that. But listen, wherever I'm called, whenever I'm called, whoever is the opponent, I'll be there. But believe me, that revenge, I won the shot.
The trash talk didn't stop there. Silva compared his own boxing to Canelo Alvarez, saying fans will watch a Mexican striker beat up a man who doesn't even know if he's Mexican or Brazilian. Those words poke at Lopez's dual heritage, a touchy subject that always stirs Twitter arguments. Behind the smack is a stylistic clash. Silva throws combinations to the body, while Felipe, who trains groundwork, hunts submissions like a trapdoor spider. When the cage door shuts, pride for a nation, ego, and a title push will collide, and every word Silva spat will either age like wine or crumble like bread. Leon Edwards used to feel untouchable when he strapped the welterweight belt around his waist, but 2 rough nights changed everything.
And he said that he's picking Sean Brady, obviously, this weekend. But is it personal between you two?
Not really. I just don't like him. I mean, I don't think wouldn't be friends outside the sport. I wouldn't know who he is. You know what I mean? So, no, not really.
First, Bilal Muhammad wrestled the title away last summer, then Sean Brady choked him out in March. Losses can shake even the calmest fighter, and Leon admits he needs a spark to believe again. That spark might be Garry, the loud and undefeated Irish prospect who loves mind games almost as much as late-night cheeseburgers. Leon told Sky Sports that a clash with Garry would be perfect, not only for rankings, but for pride. He likes the matchup because Garry stands tall and boxes from range, giving Leon slick kicks and trips plenty of space to operate. On paper, it looks like a mirror fight. 2 rangy strikers, one seasoned, one surging. The buzz matters too. Garry brings TikTok numbers, post-fight speeches, and crowds that sing his name. Leon understands that hype sells pay-per-views, and big cards lead back to title pictures. By calling for Garry, Leon isn't begging, he's bargaining. Beat the rising star in convincing fashion, and the UFC almost has to slot him near gold again, proving setbacks are just speed bumps, not dead ends.
The UFC a favour by taking this fight short notice should still get you that title shot if you win.
The only sure thing in the UFC is that winning opens doors. And my focus, as you said, my focus is solely on this Saturday night, getting my hand raised. And I'll worry about the rest afterwards.
Robert Whitaker has always smiled through broken bones and heartbreak, but now he finally sees the finish line. During an interview, he shocked fans by saying he wants only 4 more fights before hanging up his gloves. The Reaper explained that 4 is the perfect number, enough time to make one last sprint toward the middleweight title, yet short enough that his kids will still have a dad who can run around in the yard. His next challenge is Rainier de Ridder at UFC Abu Dhabi, a crafty grappler who hugs opponents like an anaconda. Whitaker's camp has him drilling takedown defense every morning, then sparring at night to keep timing sharp. Friends say he writes the number 4 on his wrist tape, a quiet reminder that every round now matters double. After de Ridder, he hopes to chase killers, maybe Chimaev, Dricus, or even a trilogy with Adesanya if the belt shifts hands. The dream is a storybook ending. Get the strap back, place it on the octagon floor, wave to the crowd, and walk away healthy. Most fighters talk about retirement only after losses. Robert is talking about it while still dangerous, proving control over his own destiny.
Listen to this. We're at the Sphere. This is the biggest show ever. Before the show, Niner is the stage manager. I go, hey man, Jon Jones is going to be here. Please, when he comes to try to shake my hand, would you please tell him I'm working, I don't want to be bothered.
Daniel Cormier sat behind the podcast mic, leaned forward, and dropped a word that made headlines: quit. He didn't say Jon Jones retired, he said Jon quit. The difference, according to DC, is heart. Retiring means you've made peace with the grind, but quitting means you ran from a storm. The storm in Cormier's mind is named Tom Aspinall, the British heavyweight who moves like a lightweight and kicks like a horse. Jones captured the belt against Stipe Miocic, then vanished while an interim champ grew louder. DC explained that Jon once mocked him for being an old man at 38, yet Jon is now older than that and choosing the exit ramp. He believes Jones should have taken the Aspinall fight before Tom tasted deep water rounds. Because right now, Tom has never had to breathe through round 4 lactic acid, and that uncertainty favors the veteran. By waiting, Jones loses surprise and gives the younger lion time to evolve. Even with the criticism, Cormier still admitted that if the fight somehow happened tomorrow, he'd bet on Jones by decision. Proof of the champion's sneaky craft. The internet exploded, arguing over bravery, legacy, and the true meaning of quitting. Meanwhile, in a backyard somewhere, bantamweight grinder Merab Dvalishvili turned a simple soak into a viral clip.
Umar, you and Islam have shared so many memories together. I want to know, what's your best moment with him?
Islam, he
How about jacuzzi?
You can come. I was not there.
Come. And
Focus on your fight, Merab. Focus on your fight.
okay.
Merab, I don't have nothing for you. Don't make the belt look bad, you know.
He fired up his bubbling jacuzzi and invited a squad of Korean training partners to join, blasting dance music while cameras rolled. The atmosphere was summer camp, laughs, splashes, and flexing for the camera. Then Merab looked into the lens and laid down house rules. Friends like Sean O'Malley could swing by, but Umar Nurmagomedov was officially off the guest list. The playful jab referenced Umar's withdrawal from a fight last year, and fans instantly caught the shade. At one point, Merab shooed away an imaginary gate crasher, yelling, "Woman, get out of here, you're not welcome," which made the whole tub erupt in giggles. Even neighbors heard the commotion. Critics accused him of goofing off instead of training, yet supporters argued that joy and camaraderie build better cardio than silent treadmills. The video spread across Twitter and Instagram Reels, stacking likes by the thousands. By nightfall, casual viewers who barely know jiu-jitsu could quote the line, "Jacuzzi time, let's go boys." For Merab, the clip served two purposes: keep his name buzzing and remind opponents that he's happy, confident, and surrounded by loyal teammates.
And let me tell you something, Dan Hooker, easy money. Paddy Pimblett, easy money. Not so easy.
Renato Moicano is known for wild interviews, but on his own podcast, he turned the jokes on himself. Fresh off a unanimous loss to Beneil Dariush, he confessed that he looked like a guy who had smoked a pack a day through camp, even though he didn't touch a single cigarette. He said the fatigue felt unreal, as if his 36-year-old body suddenly filled with wet cement halfway through round 2. Sweating behind the mic, Moicano replayed every slow jab and late sprawl, embarrassed that his cardio betrayed him after years of strict sleep, clean food, and double sessions. He asked fellow fighter Gilbert Burns if age had ever sabotaged him the same way. Fans in the comments section offered theories: altitude, weight cut, nerves. Moicano joked that if the fight had been 5 rounds instead of 3, he might have broken through the wall and outlasted Benny because he reached a point where he felt no worse. The self-roast was equal parts therapy and marketing. By admitting flaws in plain language, he invited viewers to see the human under the tattoos. Next camp, he promised, would be smarter, lighter, and full of extra early hill sprints, not hidden cigarettes. Lightweight contender Arman Tsarukyan didn't hesitate when asked who would win between Islam Makhachev and featherweight king Ilia Topuria. Arman predicted a TKO for Islam, saying the Dagestani's pressure feels like a truck parked on your chest. He argued that Ilia may be pound for pound popular right now, but moving up means facing a wrestler who has wrestled bears in snow since childhood. In Arman's mind, the math is simple: size plus chain wrestling plus top control equals ground and pound misery. Ilia's fans fired back online, pointing to his sharp boxing and cold-blooded finishing streak. Some even crowned Ilia the new McGregor, but Arman laughed at that comparison, noting that Islam has already silenced bigger punchers. The debate reveals an old combat sports truth: styles make fights. That keeps fans debating loud into night. If Islam can drag Ilia to the mat early, elbows and short hooks reign. If Ilia stuffs takedowns and keeps distance, spinning strikes land. Arman ended the segment by saying he hopes the bout never happens, because he wants to meet Islam again for the title himself. Until contracts are signed, the clash lives on in tweets, highlight edits, and arguments shouted across every gym mat on earth.
This will be the last time I'm ever 155 pounds in my life. I could promise you that.
Are we still gonna be in shape, or are we just going straight diabetes?
Listen, I'm getting on steroids. Once USADA stops knocking on my door and I lay the gloves down, I'm getting jacked and tan.
Dustin Poirier's grin stretched from ear to ear when he told ESPN that UFC 318 would be his final walk. He's throwing down with Max Holloway for the BMF belt, but win or lose, the Diamond plans to place his gloves on the canvas and wave goodbye. Then came the punchline that made host Megan O'Leary spit her coffee. I'm hopping on steroids once USADA stops knocking on my door. Dustin wasn't endorsing cheating. He was joking about life after weight cuts. At 36, he craves muscles, beach vacations, and afternoons where nobody asks his body to make 155 pounds. He dreams of grilling burgers without counting macros and lifting weights until veins pop like garden hoses. The internet split between laughing and scolding, wondering if the joke would age badly. Yet his honesty felt refreshing in a sport full of canned answers. Against Holloway, Dustin expects a firefight. Two aggressive boxers with Hawaiian and Louisiana pride colliding at altitude. Win that scrap, retire, bulk up, and maybe move to commentary or Hot Sauce Nation full-time. For now, every jump rope skip and sparring round carries extra weight because endings make every second under the gym lights more vivid. Paddy Pimblett rarely needs an excuse to run his mouth, and Ilia Topuria is his favorite target of the month. Paddy scoffed during an interview, calling Ilia a carbon copy of prime Conor McGregor, right down to the chest tattoos and trash talk cadence. He reminded listeners that Conor once threatened Chad Mendes with the line about resting certain body parts on his forehead, and now Ilia parrots the same gimmick. Paddy insisted that if peak McGregor had shared a cage with Topuria, the Spanish-Georgian phenom would have eaten a straight left and face-planted. Topuria fired back on social media within hours, daring to fight Paddy and Islam Makhachev on the same night. First round Islam, second round Paddy. Fans loved the absurd confidence. Behind the memes sits real tension. The two almost brawled in a hotel lobby years ago, and security guards had to separate them. Now both fighters inch closer to title eliminators, making the matchup more realistic by the week. Paddy believes his awkward footwork and sneaky grappling would confuse Ilia, while Ilia argues that raw power and crisp counters would flatten the Scouser quickly. The feud feels like gasoline waiting for a pay-per-view spark on a global stage. Just when MMA fans thought the week couldn't get stranger, former President Donald Trump grabbed a microphone and promised to host a UFC event right on the White House lawn as part of America's 250th birthday bash. He painted a picture of 25,000 seats, a custom octagon set against marble pillars, and Dana White running the whole circus. Within minutes, Dana reposted the clip with the caption, "This will be epic," stirring excitement and disbelief in equal measure. Conor McGregor, never far from the spotlight, shouted his approval online and leaked private voice message exchanges with Dana that simply read, "I love it." In an age where most screenshots involve drama, this one dripped with anticipation. McGregor sees the White House cage as a once-in-a-lifetime stage to etch his name even deeper. Pundits debated security and optics, but fight fans imagined ring walks down the South Portico steps, fireworks over the Washington Monument, and championship gold glittering under lights. The idea may sound like a video game level, yet with Trump's flair, Dana's resources, and Conor's star power, nothing feels impossible. If it happens, the sport that began in dusty gyms could crown champions on the lawn in America.